The Illuvium Arena is like no other auto battler and has many hidden mechanics that you are barely using, some of which can turn your ranger into a god. By learning these 10 hidden secrets, you will go from coming 8th every game to top 3 consistently without fail. Since 99% of players don't even know half the mechanics I am going to discuss in this video. Up until now, you've been playing with a blindfold, one that Illuvium's terrible onboarding burdened you with. But now I will fix it on their behalf. I'll cover the mechanics from loot crates, different round types, and hidden ranger mechanics that will change the way you see the game completely, and each mechanic will be more valuable than the last. The first one is the team builder, okay? So if you didn't know, in the menu or in the game, you can press the T key and enter the team planner. Here you can create a new team or copy a team at the end of the game. And then you can preset a team you might want to play during the game itself. It will give you a little white tooltip below a character in the shop if it is in your current team planner. This is really excellent for new players, and I recommend just copying a winning team at the end of the game and just using that in your next matchup. This is incredibly helpful, especially if you are new to Illuvium. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you're liking the content on the channel, and don't forget to use my referral code Scoriox on the Illuvidex. So, if you don't even want to think for yourself, at the end I will show you a cheat way to find the best current meta teams as well. After that, we've got the links. People don't understand the links all that well. Right here we can see I'm grabbing the links and I'm putting it straight onto my board and chucking it at the back here, okay? The links is one of the best units in the entire game, especially the stage 1 links. The stage 2 links don't compare in quality. They're not nearly as good as the stage 1. It seems counterintuitive, but it's really good. Obviously, it's not useful in the very late game, but early on, it is a must-have for your team. Add it to your board every single time and get rid of it when you need to start going for synergies, or you will not be able to compete in the game. Illuvium should really be telling you this. It's got the DPS, the damage of 2 normal Illuvials early on in the game, but it doesn't have any synergies. That is the drawback there. Next up, we actually have the affinities themselves. Early on in the game, you can see this is only round 10. Try and get a 3rd tier of a synergy. For example, in this case, I'm getting fire. I'm getting 5 fire, really powerful. 4 air and 5 earth are also really good. Try and get that early on in the game, and you're going to do so much extra damage. You're going to resist so much stuff as well that you will have no idea just how good it can actually be in your game. Things like 5 Bulwark is really good as well, but never forget to try and have at least 2 damage dealers on your team at any given time. After that, we've got the synergies of Illuvials. You might not realize this, but every stage 1 Illuvial has a basic affinity and basic class. This here is a Monarch. It has a composite affinity and class in Inferno and Phantom. What a lot of people don't realize when they're new to the game is it keeps its basic affinity and class as well. For example, the Ace that this evolved from was a Fire and a Scion. It will actually keep those synergies on the left-hand panel, and anything that has those synergies actually gets double bonus from them. So it actually gets those 2 benefits and the 2 benefits of the composites, as long as all 4 of them are activated and whatnot, obviously. But it gets to keep all of those benefits, which is actually really powerful. So make sure you're managing that as you're playing. The other thing is you need to always try and make sure to scout your opponents. I'll tell you exactly why. What is scouting? It's right here. You can go and have a look at them on the right. You can click into them to see even more information as you scout onto their board. Now, what we see here is we see this opponent here has a Grocko, an Arcos, a Heady, a Twine. These Illuvials get removed from a shared pool in the game. For example, if 3 players have Twine, which is 9 clings in total, because 3 of them evolve, 9 clings in total, there's 9 less from the pool, and your odds to find them in the pool are going to be significantly lower. This gets interesting for things like stage 3s. For example, if someone has a tier 3 stage 3, like a Riplance, the odds of someone else also getting a Riplance are incredibly low. Not quite impossible for tier 4s and 5s. It is impossible. Basically impossible for tier 3s as well. And for tier 1s, it's even pretty close to impossible as well. So if someone else beats you to that stage 3, you need to be aware of it, or you will never be able to compete against them. The other thing is the economy. It's a little bit hard to see from the screenshot. You can see the down from the bottom left here, there's total income possible. base income 5. Interest is based on every 10 credits you currently have. So if you have 20 like I do right now, then you get 2 bonus up to 70 and you get 7 bonus, which is really valuable in the game. And then if you're on a win or a loss streak starting at 2 or 3, then you also get bonus gold from that as well, and a gold every single time you win a round. So managing your economy is incredibly important. The other thing is fighter positioning, which I learned from Slicks, and something I was not leveraging enough when I first started playing, and changed the way I played completely. And now I pretty much get a 4 or 5 win streak right off the bat in the game, sometimes with little economy, sometimes with a lot of economy. In those games, I usually win. So this is invaluable. Look at the way I position my links and my Doka here. I'm putting them both at the back. I put Heady in front of them. A little bit optional, but it does affect the pathing. You want to make sure that your damage dealer alluvials, for example, my Licks and my Doka, are attacking their damage dealer alluvials, or at the very least, making sure they're getting targeted last in the battle. You can see his Doka went on my tank, his Lynx went on my tank, and then my Lynx attacks his DPS, my Doka attacks his Lynx, and so since I kill his DPSs so easily, I destroy Drac in this match. No offense, Drac, sorry, but you positioned not as good as me. My Heady placement was key there. But you can see how making sure your DPS enters the fight at the very end will make you win significantly more fights. If you take anything away, that might be really important. The other thing is you can bond the Ranger. Simply just drag an alluvial over to the Ranger, it will bond them, and your Ranger will merge your affinities and classes with them to get different composites. What's important I want to mention though, is that you want to try and turn your Ranger into your hyper carry. If they're a damage dealer, give them really good damage dealing composites. If they're a tank like mine is, give them really good tanky composites like Magma and Colossus and things like that. Try and activate both composites on your Ranger, otherwise you are wasting a lot of firepower on your board, but also try and synergize it with the weapon your Ranger has. If it has a shield, make it tanky. If it has a sword, make it a damage dealer. If it has a staff, make it a caster or whatever kind. You'll be able to figure out these systems in the game. Make sure your Ranger is not wasted. It is an incredible asset to your team and could do insane amounts of damage, especially in the early and the mid game, and sometimes into the late game. But as the augment scale, it's a little bit harder. But before the augment scale, your Ranger is maybe your best unit. Do not waste it in the game. Another thing the game doesn't really explain is crate tailoring. Sometimes you might have seen that you get these crates that are either composite crates or synergy crates. These will give you a synergy that you can apply to an alluvial, like I have the Scion chip right now at the bottom on my Doki and the Rogue chip, so he gets those 2 additional classes, right? However, you might not have realized that you can actually tailor these crates. Looking on the left here, you can see that I have a Fire and Scion, 4 Scion and 7 Fire. These weightings apply to the crate. There is actually really high odds I get one of those 2, and then the third item is going to be a random choice, and you can see that right here. I also have 2 rogues. That's the next highest weighting I have. You can see I got really unlucky where the Fire didn't appear, but I got the rogue and the Scion to appear, which is really, really great to see. Okay, so the last one I've got for you after crate tailoring is finding the meta game teams. There's this website that has been created by a guy called Rich, or Dick Kings as some know him online. And he has created a website where you can see the latest winning compositions. Try to achieve 4 of a composite synergy to basically guarantee a win at the end of the game. If your opponent is 4 Tempest and you have 3 Toxic, you're going to have trouble winning. If your opponent has 4, maybe not Mud's a bad example. If your opponent has 4 Colossus, you literally just lose. If they have 4 Frost, you lose. If they have 3 Frost, you have a chance to win. Just see the key here. Try and get 4 of a big composite synergy to easily win your games. Here we can see the latest winning builds. You can also see when it has a plus higher rating, it means a lower ranked player won. So maybe that team was maybe easier to build or something like that. So definitely check out those ones. You can see here they're 9 alluvials, 18 augments and things like that. Let's take a look at this one really quickly. You can see they had Tianti, Caradulo, Axon, Goliath, Blotto, Riplance, Amatmut, Adorido, and Phosphorus. Really great team here. You can see that they had, I don't know if it says their synergies, I don't think so. But you can see here they have Granite. They have maybe not Wildfire. They have 2 Toxic, at least, probably 3. The weapon is Swear to God, it says it. Embling rods. They probably had Wildfire or Toxic. I don't know. They had Matmut, great. So I had a few Scions as well. Maybe they had Harbinger with their Toxic on the Ranger, which is quite likely. They've got really great tanks, really great composite setup with the Toxic, Wildfire, Granite, and all the rest of it. Really great damage dealers because I've got Phosphorus as well as their Scion setup. And so you really need the three of them in harmony to be able to win the game. And I will say really quickly, the cheapest composites to get two of are Predator, Templar, Shock, Dust, and Toxic in order. Rewind that if you need to. And as for getting three of a composite, it's Mud, Shock, and Mystic. Rewind that if you want to. If you're a beginner, I suggest going for Predator, Templar, Dust, or Toxic in the early game at least, and then transition later if you need to. Please, I hope you learned something today. Please don't forget to subscribe for more Illuvium content and guides. Check out my ultimate beginner's guide for the Illuvium Arena. If you haven't already, it will help you improve even more.